Hello, hello. Back into some more puzzles. Didn't have as much time as I hoped this week. So, but it's gonna try and do quite a few, and it's a rainy weekend coming up. So, hopefully this weekend we'll get quite a few more videos out. Quite a long rule set for this, and I was gonna squidge the rules down a bit, delete some stuff, but then I actually properly started reading it, and it's rather lovely. It's taking a lot of the lyrics in the song and turning them into different rules as we go through, which is rather nice. So I'm going to try and hopefully solve it in order. There's definitely some of these clues that seem to give you more stuff just straight off the bat, so I might come back to that. But I'll probably talk through. Yeah, I'll hopefully do that and talk through each rule of each leg as we go through. But so our yellow circles I will mention. So each of those are the start and end of a segment, and they share exactly one of the following attributes. So either parity, primality, or hi-lowness. Which, so again, it's I can't remember which puzzle it is now, but similar to the one where I sort of thought it was the idea that although things change, something stays the same as you go through, which is rather nice. And then each of these separate legs of the journey has a different rule. So yeah, so I think I am going to try and go through on each as we do so. So the first leg, where are we going to? I'm scared of the future and I'm oddly scared of you. I have to say, so some of these are very nicely tied in with the lyrics. Some of them I've either haven't spotted the connection, or there is less of a good connection. I like this one with the oddness. So everything is increasing an odd amount each step, and it can't go up by 3. That's way too much. So this is just increasing by 1 as we go. And hopefully I can see. So you're either starting 1 and 4, 2 and 5, 3 and 6. So thinking about the attributes they share, that's not sharing parity, that is sharing hi-lowness, and it is sharing hi-lowness, and neither of those are prime. So 1, 4 is fine. 2, 5 isn't sharing parity. None of them are sharing parity. Isn't sharing high-low. Oh, no, wait, is sharing high-lowness. Sorry, is sharing high-lowness. So 1, 4 doesn't work. 2, 5 is also sharing high-lowness, isn't it? Yeah. Which is the last one. And both of those are prime. So that also doesn't work. Whereas 3, 6 don't share parity, don't share high-lowness, and neither of them. No, wait. Oh, and one of them is prime. Now I'm totally confused. Share exactly one of the following attributes: parity, primality, and high-lowness. No, they're not. They're not both high and low. So 3, 6, they don't share parity, they don't share high-lowness, but they do. But they don't share the fact that they're both prime. What? Hang on a mo. Digits along the first step of the journey increase by an odd amount. Oh, not necessarily the same odd amount. Sorry, I've totally misunderstood that, haven't I? Okay. Right, back to the drawing board. So this is just acting as a thermo, sort of, isn't it? And that can't be 5, 5. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but not 7. Right, so that's changed by odd amount. So in total, it changes by an odd amount, and therefore does not share parity. This is now. I'm going to keep going for the mo on this. I might jump to a later leg. It does feel nicer that you would hopefully be able to solve it in order. So, I mean, 4, 5, 6 doesn't work. Like that can't be 6 because then that's differs by an even number. 5 and 4 like that. And so they definitely don't share parity, is what I'm saying. Can they both be prime? The only prime this can be is a 5. So 5 and 2? No, because then... So if they're both... If that's prime, that's 5. That has to be 2. And then you get the problem that they both also share high lowness. So that's not a 5. No, what am I saying? Oh, sorry, I'm getting confused. No, it is 5 and 2, isn't it? Is the only way that pairs, because they've got to be different parity. Yeah. And if this was 4 and 1, neither of those are prime. That doesn't work. So this is definitely high and this is definitely low. So that either they're both prime or they're both not prime. This is not prime, so this has to be not prime. That's a 1. And then that's even, that's odd, and that's even. Okay, that makes sense. Good. If a little trickier than I thought. And with more options. But all of them now satisfy that. So let's have a look at the second leg, where to his right a pack of wolves that cried to the rise and fall of the moon. So they alternately increase and decrease and increase first of all, which is going to get us that 6, isn't it? 6 and 8. And the rest... Or 9s go down here for sure. That decreases, increases, decreases, increases. But that's quite small. So that's decreasing, increasing, decreasing, increasing at the end. So definitely doesn't share high lowness. If it shared primarily, if neither of these were prime, they'd have to be 6 and 4. But then they're both the same parity. So 6 and 4 doesn't work. But you can either be... But and 6, 2 works. Oh, it's got to share something, doesn't it? And all of these numbers are prime. So it's got to be a 2. Yeah, because then it's got to share... You know what I'm on about. It's got to share parity. Interesting. It's not 8. That decreases. And increases again. That could be 3 too, if it wanted. That's not a very useful thing. Nice. Right. What I might do... no, because the 9s are pencil marked, aren't they? The only one I have to be careful of is the fact that this cell is, smaller than that cell. That seems quite likely. 3, 4, 5 up there. So let's have a look at the third leg, where everything was dark and nothing did grow. Which I was then expecting it to be like a slow thermo, perhaps. But then that does also grow, so that doesn't really work. Or a backwards thermo. That could sort of make sense. All of these digits are distinct. And the third leg occupies the entire fogged area, so I know everything in there is fog. Is on the line, sorry. And their average is 4. Does that tell you anything? Oh, everything on the path is distinct, of course. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got 7 numbers, and because they've got an average of 4, they add up to 28. Not true. That's 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28, isn't it? Yeah. So you're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That makes a lot of sense. So that's going to be 8. Anything else? We can say 9s are here. Finally, that can be a 9. And what about this cell? So it's not 1 or 2 because it doesn't repeat. It's interestingly not 3, 4, or 5 because if it was, it would go there and then it would repeat. So that is 6 or 7. So if that was 2 and 6, that's okay because that shares only parity. If it was 2 and 7, they're both prime. Oh, both of those work. Very strange. Where does this cell go? It's got to go here. That's going to repeat there, isn't it? Yeah. Where does this cell go on the line? Because it's got to go here. And at this point, I want to jump ahead because I can see that they're both 3s. Is that going to do enough? Help us out. Not sure it would. Oh, and of course, this is a 1, 6, 7. Which gives you a 2, 3, 4, 5 along here. Means that that's all sorted now. 1, 6, 7. And I know that these two cells are the same, so they go then repeat down here, of course. Nice. Very good. Let's have a look at leg number 4, perhaps. Where they speed over, or they sped. Sped through the hills and over mountains they did go. So everything is strictly less than all orthogonal. So fortress clues. And what are these cells? 2, 3, 4, 5. This is strictly less than that. So that's got to be your 2. And it's strictly less than cells that aren't on your path, I suspect. Well, actually, yeah, you know that, yeah, I was worried that it meant path as in just this section, but that would break your 1, so that won't be very happy. So 9s can't go, yeah, anywhere here. 9's got to go here. And if you had an 8, 8s would be okay. This is definitely less than that, so that's quite small. And 7s. This has got to be strictly less than that cell, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So that's quite big, and we know that's a 7. So that's got to be 7 and 6 like this. Which tells you a lot less than I thought, actually. 7's there, of course. Yeah, that could still be a 6. 6 and 2. 8s. Yeah, the trouble is 8s can seem to happily hide on here, can't they? But maybe I could have a quick think about this cell. They obviously can never be the same, can they? It can't be share the same parity and be high-low. But 6 and 7 does work. Because that only shares high-lowness. If it was 6 and 4, that doesn't work because they're both parity and primality. That's what I'm going for. 6 and 3 doesn't work because that doesn't share anything. And same for 6 and 5 doesn't work. That doesn't share anything. So you get a cheeky little 1-7 pair. And at this point, do I jump to the next? I think I'm going to have to. I think I'm going to have a look at the next path at this point without completing this one. Which maybe that was entirely intended, and maybe I'm slightly hamstringing. Hamstringing? No, what am I on about? Slightly. What word do I mean? And you're like holding yourself back. Not sure. But I want to have a look at the fifth leg, where over old wooden bridges withered from the cold. So these are all chili cells, where everything is decreased by 1. And then cages are then sort of normal cages once you've decreased everything by 1. So what that means is for things like this, you just add 3, and for things like this, you just add 2. So that sums to 23. That sums to 6. That's got to be a 1, 2, 3 like that, which gives you this. And also means that... So this sums to 23, is what I'm saying. Which has got to be 6, 8, 9, doesn't it? Yeah. But 6 is here. And what are we left with? 1, 4, 5, and 7. With the 1's over there. This needs to sum to 9. Which doesn't necessarily need a 1. It could be 2, 3, 5. But I can think about these 2 cells again. So that can't be 1. Can't be 3 or 5. That's sharing way too much. So definitely doesn't share parity. That being 4 or 6 means that that has to be a 1. And that has to be a 6 too, doesn't it? That's the only way to make 9. Yeah. And that's now 5, add 1, add 1. Lovely. So you get some of this stuff sorted out. That's 9 and 6 up there. 3, 4, 5. Not quite. That's not 3. I was about to say I thought that was 3, but from having read the other stuff, I know that it's not. 4, 5, 8, 9. 9's not there. That can't be 4. Just going back to this leg. That can't be 1 as well because of this leg. To be careful about where the leg starts and stops. That's at least 3s. These are at least 4s. It's probably a bit too much in terms of pencil marking. That just has to be less than this. Right, I think I will... going to carry on with my path and then come back to some of this stuff later, which maybe again is a metaphor that you can follow your path, but then you keep on coming back. So 6th leg, which rather nicely starts with a 6th. 6. That would have been very impressive if that all worked out, but also not a very necessary thing. It would just been like a extra cool thing. Anyway, sorry. This is a region sum line. It's the only rule we're going to get there. 1, 2, 6, 8, 9. So just trying to... I should have written down all the pairs that work, really, shouldn't I? 6 and 3 work. 6 and 4 work. 6 and 5 don't share anything, do they? Because 5 is prime. Yeah. But 6 and 7 works. Yeah. Cool. So this cell is going to be at least a 4. Can't be 3. Can it even be 4? 2, 1, 3, 4. Yeah, that's fine. And just thinking about this region, summing it up, I don't think that's going to do that much, really, is it? 6 and 4. No, not particularly. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I was hoping there was 5 cells on here. Yeah, it doesn't even need a 1. Interestingly. So I'm going to move on to the 7th leg, where the creature laid his hand upon the boy's head and gave him a wink of his eye. So we've got look and say cages on this 7th leg. So this is going to need 2 2s, which will have to sit there and there, which gives you a 2 up here. This one needs 2 3s, which is the one I was looking at a while back, which is the one that does the most. Means that can't be a 4 now, because that 4 5 pair. That's pretty. 2s down here. And 4s go here and here. Which actually tells you less than I thought. But this now being a 2 breaks everything. No, what have I done? Oh no. 2 7s. Why am I calling that 2 2s? Sorry. 7s are here, 7s are there. That looks a lot more likely. These are 3s. Let's just sort all that out again. That's still 2. There's a 4 4 4. Should learn to read, shouldn't I? 2 3s, 2 7s, which gives you a 7 here, which means that's quite big and that's quite big. 4 5 pair means that can't be 5 anymore. You get an 8 9, unsurprisingly. 4 5 2, 3 6, not 3. Excellent. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Cool. This isn't 3. 3s are down here. And 2s are there. What else have we got? 4s? Not particularly. Not that I can see anyway. 6s? Yeah, 6s maybe. But otherwise, still needs a bit of work elsewhere, doesn't it? This can't be 10 anymore, so that's not a 4. 3 6. Can't be 2. But that can be 4 7 with 1 2 3 5. I reckon that's maybe what that is. The 5 here. Feels quite likely. So what else can I look at? Where's 1s up and down here? They go there. And this is 4 5 and 7. Oh, it's not 5. That can't be a 4 7 pair. Give you a 7 here. 5 7 8 9 5 there. So this sums to 12. Oh, stop doing silly mistakes. What have I done now? What have I done now? That all looked logical. That's not so good. 2 3s. Saying this 6 and 5 doesn't work. No. Uh-oh. So I said that can't be a 7. This has to have 2 7s. Can't be 7 and 4 because then you have to be 6 and 5. Is it something really far back? And that's okay. What am I not seeing? Sorry. 6 and 5 doesn't work. Because 5 is prime. 6 isn't. Different polarity, different high-lowness. Is this not a 7? Is a 7? Have I missed? And that could either be 4 5, 2 4, or 5. There can't be any of them. Okay, and the region sum. It's normal region sum, isn't it? Digits on the 6th leg all lie in a single region sum. Box boundaries divide the region sum into segments. I'm calling that a 5. So then what is this? Oh, this is sad if this is broken. $12. So you're saying that's fine. I haven't just read the wrong 5th, 6th. Oh, it's... Is this -1? Is that the point? Okay, yeah. So I thought it wasn't because of this. Yeah, but I suppose that should be more clear in the reading. So, and for calculations, I wouldn't have said yellow rose as a calculation. And now I've got to work out how far I need to go back. Oh no. Because this, I wouldn't have said this acting as a 5 for the yellow rose. I think I'm going to go from here. I might go back and check if there was any other logical stuff like with this sort of thing that I messed up with. But this 6 is acting as a 5, basically. And then can we do the same thing of... what do I want to do? So now this is at least 12, so that can't be 7. So that's a 7. And now that's 2, 4, or 5. And 4, because this is at least... I think that's all, because now this sums to 12 and this sums to 12. I hope that's correct, but I will go back and just check that I didn't therefore miss a possibility while I was solving some stuff. 189, 5, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, and 6. 2, 4, 2, 4, 5, 4, 5 and 4. What's this? There's your other 8 and 9, of course. 5 and 7 from that 7 at the top. Then along here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 8 and 6. 1 and 9 and 8. Random naked single. 4 and 3. We know how they look. Like this. There's a 5, 7 pair. We can do that. This is still not quite sorted out. But the 2s, perhaps? Surely. Maybe not. Is it going to be this? But that can only sort out this stuff. No, this is going to help us out, isn't it? 9, 4. 9s are there. 8, 9. 1, 3. And then we got to look at this, where that can't be a 9, because then they'd share both parity and high-lowness. 9, 8. 9, 8. 8 and 9. There we go. Good. Right. So I just need to go back and check a couple of things in terms of the chili cells on this section to make sure I didn't miss something logical. But other than that, really enjoyed that puzzle. That was very nice. Very good incorporation of the story. Definitely one of my favourites so far of bringing each element in as you went along. I have now listened to it enough times that I can hear most of these lyrics as we go through. Rather entertaining. But yeah, very good puzzle. Good flow. It'll be interesting to hear if the intended route was to follow this or to pick and choose it. And partly I followed it to try and make the rules a bit easier to understand. But there were definitely easier steps that you could take during this part. But yeah, anyway, Very nice puzzle. Thank you very much for making it. Hope you enjoyed watching. Chat to you all sometime later. Bye.